Wizard! Wizard!
Alright, we're off the wizard now.
Wizard.
And we are here with our optional class features as we are going over the last class, our subclasses for the class, or the new class features.
Wizard,
So Wizard is the last one, and it is my second favorite class that D&D has to offer.
Wizard.
Behind Cleric. Optional class features are here. They don't have much, I know that, but they do have access to a lot of different wizard spells now. Their cantrips can be the Booming Blade, which is a new one. Green Throw Blade, new one. Not new one, but updated. Lightning Lure, updated. Mind Sliver, which is updated, or new. I don't remember that one. Sword Burst, which I know is updated.
Mind Sliver, I believe, was...
something else?
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be.
First level...
I know it was Unearthed Arcana
They get
originally.
Tasha's Caustic Brew?
Caustic Brew.
Yeah.
Why? That's weird.
I mean, no, because
That's
they have
weird.
access to every spell pretty much.
That's
Second
weird.
level, Augury. Enhance ability as well, which is unique. Tasha's Bind Whip.
Ugh, there you go again with the Tasha thing. Wish I would
Screw you. Third level,
What did I get?
Intellect Fortress. Speak with Dead, Spirit Shrouds, the Summon spells, or 3 of the Summon spells, which is Summon Fey, Shadow Spawn, or Undead. Fourth level, they get access to Divination now. Man, that would have been very nice as Trixie. Summon Aberration, Summon Construct, and Summon Elemental. I would have used the fuck out of that.
No, you
was
wouldn't.
so helpful.
No, you
Sixth level, Summon Fiend, and then another new Tasha spell. Seventh level, another new Tasha spell, and ninth level, another new Tasha spell.
Dang, girl.
I think we'll go over spells next after this, since they're a big thing in this. Third level feature is cantrip formulas, which is like literally probably the only alternative stuff besides the additional spells, because wizards don't really need much else, do they?
No.
They're already strong as it is, so I think this is fine. You have described a set of arcane formulas in your spellbook that you can see that you can use to formulate a cantrip in your mind. Whenever you finish a long rest and consult those formulas in your spellbook, you can replace one wizard cantrip you know with another cantrip from the wizard spell list. So you can switch out spells or cantrips. It's 3:20.
It is.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, you do.
All right. So the first one that is printed in this book is the Blade Singer singing, which is an updated version of a wizard subclass. So if he's actually on the phone with someone, I'm going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Huh?
Are you on the phone with someone?
No.
All right, never mind. It's right there. Blade Singing, which once again is an updated class or subclass that is
It was the Blade Singer.
was originally Blade Singer.
Which was the elf only.
Is it not elf only anymore?
I don't know.
All right, let's find out. I haven't looked at this yet, so you would think I would, but I haven't. Blade Singing is one of the ones that are very specific, and I'm not sure about. When faced with endless onslaught of magical possibilities, many wizards suffer identity crisis. Some overcome, some break, and some become sword balls. Why don't you take Blade Singing? We'll get back to our break.
Blade Singers, master tradition of wizardry that incorporates swordplay and dance. Originally created by elves, this tradition is adopted by non-elf practitioners who honor and expand the elven ways. In combat, the Blade Singer uses a series of intricate, elegant maneuvers to fend off and harm and allow the Blade Singer to channel magic into devastating attacks and cunning defense. Many who observe the Blade Singers at work remember the display as more beautiful experiences in their life. A glorious dance accompanied by a singing blade. Hence the name Blade Singing. Okay. A drow and a high elf Blade Singer. Very cool. Very cool. Would date. Would date immediately. Okay. Training in war and song. You gain the proficiency with light armor, and you gain the proficiency with one of the one-handed melee weapons of your choice. Okay? You can gain proficiency with performance skill if you don't already have it. Okay? Blade Song. Okay? You can evoke elven magic called Blade Song, provided you aren't wearing heavy or medium or heavy armor, or using a shield. It graces you with a supernatural speed, agility, and focus. You can use a bonus action to start a blade song, which lasts for 1 minute. It ends early if you are incapacitated, if you don medium or heavy armor or a shield, or if you use two hands to make an attack with a weapon. You can also dismiss the blade song at any time. No action required. Alright, okay. While your blade song is active, you gain the following benefits. You gain a bonus AC to equal to your intelligence modifier, which is totally busted. If you're already a dex fighter, because you go into the blade song to do that. You gain a walking speed, increasing by 10 feeting. Okay. You gain advantage on dexterity acrobatics checks. You gain a bonus to Constitution saving throws to maintain your Constitution on the spell. The bonus is equal to your intelligence modifier.
Okay. Alright, looking at, I'm just going over it in my head since I haven't listened. I was in the bathroom. It is early if you are incapacitated. You don a medium or heavy armor or a shield. It's fine. So basically, you call upon this blade, pretty much? Is this the whole idea?
You resonate your magic through the blade.
Okay.
Which gives you some crazy stuff.
Gains a bonus to your AC equal to your intelligence modifier. That's really good. Walking speed increases by 10. That's really good. Dex, advantage on dex, acrobatics checks, which is fantastic. And you gain a bonus to maintain your concentration. The bonus is equal to your intelligence mod. That's really good.
I mean, I feel like this is like the barbarian version of a wizard. Wizard?
That's really good, but it specifically does mention light armor, but that is, oh, wait, that is also barbarian. Fuck. They don't even have armor. That's really cool.
Yes, I mean...
Very specific, but really cool.
A wizard normally cannot even don armor at all. So the fact that you gain proficiency with a light armor, and then you gain the proficiency with a one-handed melee weapon of your choice, pretty good, pretty cool.
It definitely makes you unique.
Yes.
For a wizard.
For a wizard?
They also get them the 6th level ability.
Extra freaking attack.
I mean, if what you're doing is pretty much using your blade anyway, you might as well.
Exactly. You can attack twice instead of once, whenever you make an attack action on your turn. Moreover, you can cast one of your cantrips in place of those attacks.
What the hell? That's dope.
Yes. So that means you can make an attack and then use Booming Blade.
Dude, also, I'm just thinking of it phonetically without even using the sword. I'm just imagining you grasping like the wrist of one of your opponents casting shock and grasp, and then just sticking the blade into him.
Yeah,
afterwards.
You can do
dope.
so many things.
That's really cool. You can do a lot of phonetic stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Pretty dope.
This is just, once again, when we're looking at the wizard as the wizard stuff, it's already just broken in itself without any subclasses.
Exactly.
We don't even really need to get an, oh, it's stronger, it's not. We can compare the two and be like, of course this is strong, and this is just basic stuff. All this stuff is phonetically already adding to a already busted class, so they're going to be good regardless.
I mean, that's why they gave you such things as Booming Blade, Green Flame Blade, Sword Burst. This way you can use those cantrips as devastating damage output against your enemy and or foes.
True.
Or your allies if you really do not like them at the moment.
Okay, Song of Defense.
You can direct your magic to absorb damage While your Blade Song is active, when you take damage, you can use your reaction to spend one spell slot to reduce that damage by the amount total equal to 5 times the freaking spell slots. Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Because once you get, up to higher levels, and you have 9 spell slot, 9, you're basically untouchable.
That's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
That's good, though.
Yeah.
All this stuff, it's Wizard. So adding anything to Wizard strong, but this is some bullshit.
You can add Song Victory, 14th level. You can add your Intelligence modifier to the damage of your melee attacks while your Blade Song is active. I feel like this could be pushed a little bit further back, honestly. Probably with your level 6, and then give you something else for that. Getting that really late game is like...
Lame.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, or you could just say, like, you replace your, your dexterity and you use your intelligence as you're attacking. Because you're still going to have to be a dex / con / intelligence. You're dipping into a lot of things.
Yeah.
So you're really spreading yourself out because you're going to be in the thick of combat for the most part. So your dex has to be at least a good 18. Your intelligence, of course, has to be a 20. It's asking for a lot for you to do. Yes, it is.
I mean, you gotta know what you're doing when you're going to the subclass. Otherwise, all you're doing is just being a wizard. Which is already, once again, strong enough as itself, but if you're looking to be a flavorful blade singing, you gotta know what your abilities do, and it's gonna be very specific when you can do them.
I think this is really meant to kind of tie in with possibly multi-classing into something like fighter.
But the thing is, right? Their 6th level ability is extra attack.
That's why you get the class ability from the level 3 fighter, and then you get your fighting stance from the level 2 stuff that you get from fighter, and you'll get something like dueling, which allows you to, add to your offhand.
Oh yeah, that's actually pretty good, yeah. Alright.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. I get it now.
Because it does not say... Because if you use 2 hands to make a... if you're two-handing, then you cannot do it.
Yeah, but it's a whole thing was like unguarding.
Exactly. So if you do wielding with 2 rapiers or, 2 daggers or whatever the case is, then you could use your offhand and attack still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really fucking cool.
I really just feel like this was meant to multi-class.
Also, it doesn't mention anything about being just a elf thing anymore.
No.
That is something to mention. Yeah. They've opened it up to everyone.
Everybody and their mother.
And that feels good.
And their mother. They just use the example of the elves because that's where it's traditionally comes from.
Yeah, it's the tradition of it. The arcane tradition.
Exactly.
The last one, or the new one technically, since that's just an updated, older one, is the Order of Scribes. Magic is great and all, but have you smelled a book? She has a point there. Magic of the book, that's what many folk call wizardry. The name is apt, given how much time wizards spend poring over tomes, pinning theories about the nature of magic. It's rare to see wizards traveling without books and scrolls sprouting from their backs, and a wizard would go to great lengths to plumb an archive of ancient knowledge. Among wizards, the Order of Scribes is the most bookish. It takes many forms in different worlds, but its primary mission is the same everywhere: recording magical discoveries so that wizardry can flourish. And while all wizards value spellbooks, a wizard in the Order of Scribes magically awakens their book, turning it into a trusted companion to all wizards studying books, but a wizardly scribe talks to theirs.
Bleh.
No, this is a really unique subclass. I think I've read a couple of features. I haven't read them all.
No.
I've read a couple.
Okay.
Second level, they get Wizardly Quill. As a bonus action, you can create, magically create, sorry, a tiny quill in your free hand. A magic quill has the following properties. The quill doesn't require ink. Very important for a wizard. When you write with it, it produces ink in a color of your choice on the writing surface. The time you spend to copy a spell into your spell book equals 2 spells per spell level. If you 2 minutes, sorry, it's 2 minutes per spell level. Apologies. If you use the quill for the transcription, you can erase anything you write with the quill if you have waved the feather over the text as a bonus action, providing the text is within 5 feet of you. The quill disappears if you create another one or if you die.
Fucking, once again, Death Note.
Yeah, this is just a really cool idea. And then also at second level, you get the Awakened Spellbook, which using specifically prepared inks and ancient incantation passed down by your wizardly order, you have awakened an arcane sentience within your spellbook. While holding the book, it grants you the following benefits. You can use the book as spellcasting focus for your wizard spells. This is straight up Genshin Impact for me. This is the first thing that pops into my head because of the whole books floating around you, and then the spellcasters do that.
No.
When you cast a wizard spell with a spell slot, you can temporarily replace its damage type with a type that appears in another spell in your spellbook. What? That's cool! Which magically alters the spell's formula for this casting only. The latter spell must be on the same level as the spell slot you expend. When you cast a wizard spell as a ritual, you can use the spell's normal casting time rather than adding 10 minutes to it. Once you use this benefit, you can do so again until you can't do so again until you finish the longest.
I'm liking this.
This is really good, right? If necessary, you can replace the book over the course of a short rest by using your wizardly quill to write arcane sigils in a blank book or a magic spellbook to which you're attuned. At the end of the rest, the spellbook's consciousness is summoned into the new book, which the consciousness transforms into your spellbook, along with all its spells. But the previous book still existed somewhere, all the spells vanished from its pages. Isn't that cool? Oh, it's so phonetically cool. And not only that, you don't have to spend so much money on ink.
No.
You have it
don't
magically.
have to spend money on ink at all.
That is such a cost-efficient way for a wizard.
In fact, you don't even have to, based on what this is saying, you don't even have to buy paper either.
No, you literally have
what you need.
paper.
You have magic paper, magic
ink.
Yeah, you don't, yeah.
It's just so cost-effective. For me, after playing a wizard for so long and just using most of my money just for ink and paper,
exactly.
That is big
and then,
for a wizard.
It's a very interesting one. Because it's like binding, like, you know, Fireball and Ice Knife, right? So that's basically what you're doing. You're kind of mixing spells together in order to create this unique, different spell.
It's kind of the same thing that the Sorcerer subclass was doing, except the Wizard's doing.
And
but it has to be something from
your book, instead of just, bullshitting. I get to bullshit.
Yeah, that's what Sorcerers do, they bullshit.
Yeah.
I think that's great, because actually when you think about it like that, if you think about it like that, they have different options, more options, because they were like limited to like 5. The Sorcerers were limited to 5. There are plenty of different types of damage. I don't think Psychic was one of those types of damage that you could use. You can cast a Psychic Fireball using this.
Because if you would have Mind Soul, no. It would be a spell. So what spells do psychic damage do?
I know there is. I know already.
For wizards, at least.
Oh, wrong thing. New one. Psychic.
Yeah, this is how often I play fucking wizards.
I know there's a few. I just don't. I never really wrote them down or prepared them, but I do know that there are some. There we go, spells. 5e damage type, blah blah. Let me look at the docs. Someone put it.
I got docs. I got D-docs.
Dude, bludgeoning. Some of these spells do bludgeoning damage.
Yeah.
Imagining a bludgeoning, a fireball that is just literally
bludgeoning
like
ball.
a block.
It's literally just a boulder.
Yeah,
it just shatters.
Cool. That's so cool. Let's look. I know that there we go. Psychic damage. We have the Dissonant Whispers.
I don't think that's a.
They can learn that.
Oh, can they?
Yeah. There's a lot of.
I think that's it though. I don't,
yeah.
And weird, but that's like a 9th level spell, so yeah.
Weird. There's not many, but think about it like that, dude.
A psychic ball just erupts, and scatters everywhere.
Radiant. Yo, this is just very unique. I like it. Gives wizards some flavor when they haven't really need it.
Flavor,
It's already cool enough.
No.
Okay, Manifest Mind. You can conjure forth the mind of your awakened spellbook. As a bonus action, while the book is on your person, you can cause the mind to manifest as a tiny spectral object, hovering in an unoccupied space of your choice within 60 feet of you. The spectral mind is intangible and doesn't occupy its space, and it sheds dim light in a 10-foot radius. It looks like a ghostly tune, a cascade of texts, or a scholar from the past. All manifested, the spectral mind can hear and see, and it has dark vision with a range of 60 feet. You have basically a familiar in a book.
So the whole time you're sitting there just reading this book, you're just like, it just randomly starts fucking talking to you. Hold on. You're alive? You're alive?
The mind can telepathically share with you what it sees and hears. No action required.
He's nuts.
So it's just like, yeah, it's fucking weird. Whenever you cast a wizard spell on your turn, you can cast it as if you were in the spectral mind space. What?
So it's OP.
It's just dumb. Instead of your own using its senses, you can do so a number of times per day equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. How dumb is that? As a bonus action, you can cause a spectral mind to hover up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see. It can pass through creatures, but not objects. The spectral mind starts manifesting if it is ever more than 300 feet away from you, 300 feet. If someone casts Dispel Magic on it, the awakened spellbook is destroyed. If you die, or if you dismiss the spectral mind as a bonus action. That's pretty game-changing for that subclass. What the fuck? Once you conjure them, it says that the whole...
You destroy your entire spellbook? That's your entire spellbook. Your awakened spellbook is your spellbook.
Yeah. Does it have a way for you to bring it back? If necessary, you can replace your book over the course of a short rest with your quill. So your quill can bring it back, but like that's your spellbook. If they destroy your spell...
You can't cast any spells
unless you memorize them or...
No, the ones that you had prepared, you can technically still cast, but you can't learn any new ones or anything like that.
Until you get a new one.
Or prepare new ones either.
That is game breaking for that.
That is. I mean, how often are people going to try to dispel something that they're not even familiar with, though?
It's very specific, but if that happens, it could break.
Exactly.
It could break the wizard there.
Yeah.
Once you conjure the mind, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest, unless you spend a spell slot to conjure it again. Okay. Master Scrivener. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can create one magic scroll by touching your wizardly quill to a blank piece of paper or parchment and causing one spell from your awakened spellbook to be copied onto the scroll. The spellbook must be within 5 feet of you when you make a scroll. The chosen spell must be first or second level and must have a casting time of 1 action. Once in the scroll, the spell's power is enhanced, counting as 1 level higher than normal.
Okay.
You can cast a spell from the the scroll by reading it as an action. The scroll is unintelligible to anyone else, and the spell vanishes from the scroll when you cast it or when you finish your next level, your next long rest. This sounds so light sword. It's not even funny. You are also adept at crafting spell scrolls. Oh my god,
which... so one thing they probably need to make an errata for, because I'm already seeing
annoying conversations happening.
Well, what am I? I'm limited to only one first or second level, but you can only create one. Okay, using that.
I must have a casting time of 1 action.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not as it's. This is very Louis light sword.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh well, he's not this, but.
I mean, I think that's pretty fucking cool, actually.
It's a really cool idea. Lightsword, Louis Lightsword, which is my Artificer in Icewind Dale, that is also in Sky Orphans as Enterprise. He's adept at spell scrolls as well. That's his thing.
Wait, hold on. Hold on.
What are you talking about?
Because you are adept at crafting spell scrolls. That means you can literally just do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That means, but this is...
The golden time you must spend to make such are halved. So that's what's
You become OP.
Yep.
You don't need spell slots anymore. Why would you need a spell slot?
You just create scrolls. Scrolls!
That breaks the game.
Yep. Welcome. Some of these classes break the game.
Why would you need a spell slot anymore? Why would you need a spell slot?
I mean, you still have to spend a lot of gold. But
this is 10th level. You're gonna have a lot of gold. If you don't have a lot of gold,
I mean, also
you're
not spending it on ink and paper.
Exactly.
So you should have plenty to spend on this shit. Fuck. Yep, that's dumb. Okay, we'll move on. That's just really dumb. 14th level, you get one with the word. Your connection to your awakening spirit has become profound, but your soul has become entwined with it.
Soul, that's really strong.
While the book is on your person, you have advantage on all intelligence arcana checks, as the spell book helps you remember magical lore.
That's really a strong word.
Moreover, if you take damage while your spell book's mind is manifested, you can prevent all the damage to you by using your reaction to dismiss the spectral mind using the magic to save yourself. Then roll 3d6. What is happening? The spellbook temporarily loses spells of your choice that have a combined spell level equal to... Oh, this is too complicated. That roll or higher. For example, if the roll's total is 9, spells vanish from the book that have combined level of at least 9, which could mean 1 9th level spell, 3 3rd level spells, and other combos. If there aren't enough spells in the book to cover this cost, you drop to 0 hit points. Holy shit, you sacrifice spells in order to keep yourself alive. That's great.
But if you don't even remember how many spells you've literally taken away from your shit, you're just like, you go back in your notes, you're like, I'm at 0 HP, guys.
You probably are going to 0 HP a lot, but if you do have some spells that are still in your book that you know you're not using anymore, this could be clutch. But it has, remember, it specifically says it has to equal the total. It has to equal the total, so that means you can't just be like, I sacrifice Find Familiar, and that's what I sacrifice. No.
But see, this, once again, a creative player would say, because this is what I would say, DM, can I don't know, weird thought, right? Can I copy down multiple fireballs? But because there's nothing in the rule that says you can't do that. So by all technicality, you could just literally have multiple fireballs in your repertoire. You don't necessarily... Oh my god.
That's very DM specific what he's mentioning. If your DM does not allow that, then ignore what he said. But
I mean, rules as interpreted, rules as written. Rules as written. You can technically.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You can technically count that. You can do that.
I agree. It's just one of those iffy things that I know that some DMs will be like, "Oh no, that makes no sense." And overrule that, but that's just.
Oh no, fine. You still have to use the gold cost for it.
True. I'm not saying you're wrong. It's definitely DM specific stuff. Until you finish 1d6 long rest, you are incapable of casting lost spells. Even if you find them on a scroll or even in another spell book. After you finish the required number of rests, the spells reappear. Okay, this does equal a final level feature. I will say that.
Okay, so
a final class feature. This definitely equals.
So yeah,
being that broken. But Jesus, you get it back. You don't just sacrifice it? That was way cooler when you had to sacrifice it.
Well, technically, okay, so like, what this is saying, your brain is like, I can't learn this spell again at all, blah, blah, blah. So if you sacrifice that fireball, you do not understand what fireball is. No matter how many times you've reprinted it. So regardless, even if you do have multiple fireballs,
you just don't understand what it is.
What is
so there you go.
Because your soul,
what you just mentioned is now gone.
Because your soul is still intertwined
with the book.
That is a lot.
Yeah. So what you just mentioned can't even be a thing.
I mean, you can still technically do that just for the sake of using this ability. You can still technically do that, but you just can't cast a fireball. So you could probably use it on something that you don't really care about.
Why don't you just use a scroll though?
Oh, this is literally...
Just use a scroll.
This is Money Man.
So basically...
Like, you are Money Man. You are Mr. Banks. Like, so you have to have bread.
You basically just spend hours counting, just making spell scrolls for Fireball. And then just being like, okay, let me just... Oh, I just need 3 HP. I'll sacrifice Fireball. Oh, I don't know how to cast it. Just use the spell scroll. Just does it anyway, because you don't have to understand it to use it. Or do you? Am I wrong on that?
As far as... You have to have it in your repertoire.
Oh, fuck. Never mind then. You can't do that.
That's why you get a spell scroll first and then translate it.
Look at us trying to break shit. Really broken and very abusable. Order of the Scribes is a fantastic addition to the D&D 5e.
It's definitely one of those, you have to think a lot while playing this class.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because there's so many ways that you can, like,
that's Wizard
trick the system.
Wizard is very brain heavy. I played one for about a year. It's very brain heavy. So it's already a lot of thinking going into that. If you want more thinking, Order of Scribes definitely adds more thinking to it. While it does dissipate more thinking, it also adds more.
This is definitely, you have to think 20 steps ahead.
Mm-hmm.
This is the mastermind version of
a wizard.
Wizard, yeah.
Really don't. Okay, Wizard, that's all that they have for Wizard.
Wizard?
It's perfectly fine.
I mean, that's all the subclasses.
Yeah, we have done all the subclasses. So, and our next stuff will probably be going over the spells themselves and looking at that.